Throughout the history of professional wrestling, there have been many villains who have captured the imagination of the audience. However, none can match the level of success or impact that Vince McMahon has had as a villain. Vince McMahon has been the driving force behind the WWE for over 3 decades, and his influence has been felt across the entire wrestling industry. He has been the mastermind behind some of the most memorable moments in wrestling history, and his reign as wrestling's greatest villain is a testament to his creativity and storytelling ability. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, better known as Mr. McMahon, is arguably the greatest villain in professional wrestling history. He's the embodiment of all the traits that make a great antagonist: ruthless and aggression. McMahon's tenure in the industry has seen him evolve from a commentator and behind-the-scenes figure to one of the most iconic and recognizable characters in history. McMahon has always had a knack for identifying talent and turning them into stars. His ability to create larger-than-life characters such as The Undertaker, Stone Cold, and The Rock have been a key element in WWE's success over the years. However, McMahon's talent for character development is not limited to the good guys. He has also created some of the most memorable villains in history, such as Mr. McMahon, the evil boss who was delighted in tormenting his employees. And McMahon had absolutely no problem getting the fans to hate him, as at Survivor Series 1997, the fans will be introduced to Mr. McMahon for the first time. He pulled off one of, if not the biggest controversies in wrestling history. He would be the head of the Montreal Screwjob, in which he conspired with Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and others to forcefully take the WWE title from Bret Hart in his home country. McMahon and others pulled back the curtain and showed fans how grimy and despicable he truly can be. The next night on Raw, McMahon would then have an interview with Jim Ross in which he would have an incredibly smug and remorseless attitude towards his actions. He would then go on to say the famous lines, "Bret screwed Bret," and which would go on to spark the character that is now known as Mr. McMahon. Throughout the years, Mr. McMahon would give the fans and other wrestlers great moments and storylines used to catapult careers. A perfect example of this would be Stone Cold Steve Austin. Throughout the late 90s, Stone Cold would go on to absolutely terrorize McMahon, and the fans ate this shit up. This time period is widely considered as the best in WWE's history and sparked a whole era within, now known as the Attitude Era. Just these few years alone cemented Mr. McMahon as a great villain. Another great instance in which McMahon would get the fans fully invested was in 2019. On the build of WrestleMania 35, Kofi Kingston emerged as a great underdog that fans wanted to see win. That's where you insert Vince McMahon. Vince would try to make the road for Kofi way harder than just a matchup at Mania. McMahon would put Kofi in handicap matches and actually make fans think Kofi might not get the job done. And from getting stunned by Austin in 98 to trying to block Kofi Mania in 2019, Vince knows how to get the fans to hate him. Another reason why McMahon is a great wrestling villain is his ability to make fans truly hate him. He's a master at playing the heel with his facial expressions, body language, and tone all perfectly calibrated to make fans want to boo him. And let's not mention his catchphrases such as "you're fired" and his "no chance in hell" theme are instantly recognizable and have become synonymous with his character. McMahon's villainous character is so well crafted that even outside of wrestling, he is still perceived as a heel by many. But that is due to him actually doing some crazy shit outside wrestling. But lastly, McMahon's impact on the industry cannot be overstated. He has been instrumental in turning WWE into a global entertainment powerhouse. His willingness to take risks and try new things has seen the company innovate in ways that other wrestling promotions have never been able to. And McMahon's vision has helped create some of the most iconic moments in history, such as the first WrestleMania, the Monday Night Wars, and the Attitude Era. And whether we like it or not, his impact on the industry will be felt for decades to come.